go phepahatsa mahelo kana go phepahatsa lefatshe la Botswana mme mo nakong ya gompieno Motswana wetso bo tautelo ba se ba go rogile ke one gore tiraga ene re itletseng ha isimologe o itebele Motswana wetso.
The President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, the Vice President of the Republic of Botswana, and Minister of Finance, Mr. Ndaba Nkosinathi Kgaolate, Honorable Ministers, Acting Permanent Secretary to the President, Ms. Matsidiso Bokole, Senior Government Officials, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Emma Mutapachi, and it is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to this joint press conference. This platform affords the two heads of state the opportunity to share the outcomes of their talks, which have just concluded at the Office of the President. The bilateral engagements between Botswana and Rwanda over the past 2 days have culminated in 6 agreements, which will be signed here and now today. Without further ado, I invite the Vice President of Botswana and Minister of Finance, Mr. Ndaba Nkosinathi Kgaolate, and the Minister of State of Rwanda, Honorable Tesi Linda Rusagara, to come forward for the signing of the Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement. This is the signing table. Gentlemen and lady, may you step forward. Thank you. Round of applause as they take their seats. Thank you. Thank you, Vice President. Thank you, Minister. I thought the President were going to witness the signing. Can you kindly hand them over so that the President they can just show the two heads of state what they have signed. Yeah, you just show them. Yeah. Yeah. No, that was supposed to. That was good. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, we now proceed with the signing of the memorandum. We proceed with the bilateral air services agreement. May I kindly request Honorable Olivia Ndungirehi to come to the signing table, and Minister Noah Salakai. Round of applause, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as they do the signing. Thank you, gentlemen. You may now exchange the instruments and shake hands. May the President witness the signing, sir. Honorable Ndungirehi, may you kindly remain as Minister Salakai goes to take his seat. At this juncture, we are going to witness the signing of the Visa Abolition Agreement. May I invite Honorable Minister of International Relations, Dr. Penyo Butale, to come to the signing table. Time to exchange the instruments and shake hands. Yes, round of applause is befitting. I'm advised that, gentlemen, you can just show the President from here, unfortunately for you. Thank you so much, Minister. You can remain seated, Honorable Ndungirehi, for the signing of the MOU in the field of health. May I ask the Minister of Health from Botswana to step forward? I see Mr. Okeditse over there. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the two ministers. Honorable ministers, thank you very much. You can take your seats as we now move on to witness the Memorandum of Understanding on Economic, Trade and Investment signing. I invite Honorable Minister Nzima and Rwanda's Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Prudence Sebahizi, to step forward to the signing table, please. Round of applause for the ministers, ladies and gentlemen. as they exchange the instruments and shake hands. The presidents are going to witness from here. They're over there, Minister Nsima. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You may take your seats. The last and sixth agreement that we are going to witness the signing of today is BITC and Rwanda Development Board Memorandum of Understanding. May I invite the CEO of the Botswana Investment and Trade Center, Mr. Kilutsusitse Ulibile, and his counterpart from the Rwanda Development Board, Ms. Juliana Moganza, to the signing table, please. Thank you very much. A round of applause for them as they exchange the instruments and shake hands. Thank you. Thank you so much. The first segment of the program has come to an end, and now we shall transition to the press conference. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, this is my distinct honor and pleasure to ask you to step to the lectern to deliver your remarks.
Let me gratefully acknowledge the presence of His Excellency, President Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, and acknowledge his delegation as well, and thank the President most profusely for honoring our invitation for him to undertake a state visit to Gaborone, Botswana. We reaffirm our enduring fraternal and cordial relations, which have carried us this far, and we have recommitted ourselves today to deepening and strengthening these ties and broadening our bilateral cooperation. I must express faith and confidence that we did not meet today merely for the gracious exchange of flattery. We did not meet to merely exchange diplomatic pleasantries. We met for strategic realignment, for a reaffirmation of our shared vision, an appreciation that this vision is not self-executing. It will not merely occur because we've scripted it. It requires agency, human agency. And so the eminent officers and ministers who took part in the refinement of the vision now stand poised to implement with precision, implement within very strict timelines. Both nations are in a race against time. And when you are contesting against time, you must appreciate that time takes no casualties. If there are any casualties, the casualties will be on your side. And so we need to appreciate the very strict timelines within which we have to execute and be rigorous in our execution. Botswana has a lot to learn from Rwanda, and Botswana has a few lessons of its own to impart to Rwanda. These high-level engagements that we've had in the different sectors, in education, in health, agriculture and food security, youth empowerment, sport development, employment creation, infrastructure development, and regional connectivity mean that we must work very closely with each other. We must bridge whatever gaps there may be. Distance is not an excuse. Technology and science have now reached a point where they very efficiently and seamlessly augment human capability. And so we will be in constant touch with each other. I appreciate the tremendous progress that has been made in the implementation of decisions from the inaugural Botswana and Rwanda Joint Permanent Commission on Cooperation, which was held in Kigali in April 2022. I appreciate the sustained commitment. I appreciate the agreements that we've signed today. No less, our response to Rwanda's exemplary gesture, which removed all barriers and barricades to free movement between Rwanda and Botswana, where Rwanda removed any and all visa requirements. And not only that, moved away from the regular, now normalized time period allowable for the nationals of each country to visit another, which is the standard 90 days. Rwanda took it to 6 months. That is exemplary. That's is indicative of a practical measure to move us away from the deadbeat of habit. Rwanda has done something that had not been done before, and we are most grateful. And we, for our part, will respond with reciprocity, measures that will enable the same treatment extended to us to be extended to the people of Rwanda. And this measure takes effect immediately. We want to increase the volumes of trade, the flows of investment between our two countries. We will continue to work together. I am immensely gratified by the outcomes of this meeting, and we commit ourselves to constantly exploring ways of improving, constant innovation, constant moving from the known and venturing sometimes into the not so well known, so that where two paths diverge, and the author says he took the path less traveled, I for one take a different path, one that is not seen, and that's the path never traveled. And so in certain respects, these two countries must be prepared to pioneer, to lead, to originate approaches that may never have been tried before, and in that regard become the exemplars, the lodestars for the rest of Africa and indeed the world. It remains for me now to thank the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Mr. President Paul Kagame, and his delegation for visiting us. We've had a very productive engagement. It's a pity it did not afford Mr. President a chance to venture into the Okavango Delta to experience the awesome majesty and beauty of nature. But the President has assured me that he will come back, and he has further assured me that when he returns, it will not be for a day or two, but for much longer. We look forward to that visit. We thank you most profusely, Mr. President, for honoring us, and we thank you for the cooperation and the deep ties that subsist between our two countries. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Whose insightful remarks on why it is important to strengthen, bolster, and deepen bilateral relations between Botswana and Rwanda. The President said Botswana has lessons that it can learn from Rwanda, and Rwanda has lessons also that it can learn from Botswana. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, it behooves me to take this opportunity to mention that I was first introduced to President Kagame and his unapologetic Pan-African ideology by the distinguished journalist and writer, columnist, Bafua Ankoma, former editor of the New African magazine, whose writing greatly shaped my early understanding of global politics and Africa's place within it. I later had the privilege of encountering His Excellency during the 27th African Union Summit while serving with the African Editors Forum media team. We were also treated to a tour of Rwanda, the land of 1,000 hills, an initiative that demonstrated a strategic and forward-thinking approach to national branding. We went there as journalists. Rwanda took advantage. We went there at our own cost. Rwanda took advantage and took us on a tour of Rwanda so that we can promote their tourism product for free. With those remarks, it is my honor to invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, to deliver his remarks.
Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, President of the Republic of Botswana, Honorable Ministers and senior officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, I want to thank you and the people of Botswana for the warm welcome we have received in this beautiful country. We feel at home. What defines the relationship between Rwanda and Botswana is not only a friendship, but also a shared sense of purpose. This is evident in the way we work together and in our commitment to practical outcomes. Across areas such as air connectivity, visa facilitation, and double taxation, our objective is to remove barriers and to create a more predictable environment for investment and collaboration. Botswana has consistently demonstrated what forward-looking leadership can accomplish. The way you have managed your natural resources, particularly diamonds, reflects a deliberate effort to retain value and translate it into real benefits for your people. This is an approach that strongly resonates with us. That same clarity is evident in your efforts to strengthen health security by investing in pharmaceutical capacity and resilience. Botswana is addressing domestic needs while also contributing to a more self-reliant continent. Mr. President, our partnership is on the right track. Cooperation in areas such as justice and security continues to deepen. And we are now expanding into economic sectors, including trade. The engagements taking place alongside this visit, particularly between our business communities, point to real and immediate opportunities. Ultimately, what we agree here must translate into tangible improvements in the lives of our citizens. That is the true measure of success. And Mr. President, I thank you for emphasizing that point earlier on. Rwanda remains fully committed to ensuring that our collaboration grows in both substance and impact. Mr. President, allow me in closing to congratulate you on the successful organization of the World Athletics Relays and Botswana's impeccable performance. This achievement is a moment of pride not just for Botswana, but also for the entire continent. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we have come to the end of our press briefing. We had initially thought we were going to take 2 or 3 questions, but because of time constraints, we shall kindly request the 2 heads of state to rise for a final handshake and then release them. Yeah. President, sir, can you approach and then do a final handshake for the media, and then we release them. May everybody stay in the room. Handshake.